Hello there everybody and welcome back to Creeper Comics Productions. And today I'm going to be showing you some of my really cool redstone builds on my redstone testing world. The same world that you saw if you're keeping up with my channel and watching my last video. Just the same world. Nothing too special. So I'm going to be going from the least complicated to the most complicated. So, well, let's jump right in. Okay, so the first item is the Mega Door. So this is, you're probably going to be like, how is this not complicated? Well, it just isn't. Okay, so let me just go around here. Let me just show you what it does first. So I cut this at the end of last video, but it's just a really big door with a delay. So if you really want, you can kind of program a little bit into this and make it do like really cool intricate patterns and stuff, and make like these kinds of shapes and things. But this is basically an infinitely expandable door. So what happens is that the redstone underneath the pressure plates is just a simple like donut loop around these two blocks. So that makes it so whenever you step on these pressure plates, it goes up to these other sides. I'm actually thinking about building this on the survival server for the Creeper Comics Productions headquarters there. Basically what happens is that whenever you step on this pressure plate, the redstone signal runs up to that torch and then activates a chain reaction of torches all the way up here. So that's basically the pattern. You just have torches going like that, back and forth, and it activates all of these pistons. So it's not hard to build, and I'm surprised that I just didn't think of this. And also, it's really compact too. You can fit the whole system into 10 wide space. And for a system like this efficient, and also it works like instantaneously for the first two blocks. So if I back up, I can walk right through the first two blocks, and look, it's totally flush when it's in the wall, so you can hardly even tell there was a door there. So anyway, on to the next build. So that's the super mega infinitely expandable door. I just made it really tall because I got into it. Okay, the next thing that we have is a Jeb Door. This is a little bit more complicated, but I assure you it's actually a little bit simple. It's actually kind of simple. It's a basic concept. What I did is that I watched a video on how to build one of these things on Java. It's a lot easier there, and it's basically this system up on top here. We're on top of the stone. But on Bedrock Edition, that just doesn't cut it. The pistons don't do bud powering, or I think that's what it's called. But what I did is that I created a trail and did the exact same system down here, and then powered the rest of the pistons. So now it works just fine. I mean, sure, there is a little bit of delay from top to bottom, but I mean, that's just the price you gotta pay when you're playing on a different version than our build's supposed to be meant on. So a lot of my builds are just kind of adaptations of stuff that I've seen other YouTubers do on Java. So that's just another neat little build. I mean, it isn't exactly compact, but I mean, it is pretty close to being compact. So yeah, on to the next build. Okay, so over here, this is the next thing. This is the wall staircase. Well, let me retract it first. So yeah, look at that. It's just a solid wall, and then you do this, and it pulls back, and you have a staircase going right up. I built this shortly after I figured out how to make double piston extenders. And the redstone isn't actually that bad. It's a little bit more complicated and took me a while to figure out stuff. But basically what I'm doing is I'm just using observers and things to create the short little spurts and powers that I need to off of one big signal from a button. Or a lever, actually, I think it is. So, yeah, and I just kind of put glass in some of these so you can just see the redstone while you're in the build. But you're technically not going to be looking at the redstone when you're on top of this, so. And also, it's just so satisfying to watch. Push right along, back and forth, back and forth. Anyway, on to the next one. Okay, so the next one, you saw this in my last video. This is the Railgun Cannon. It shoots hard. I'll just say that much. Yeah, it shoots straight, and the TNT actually explodes at this distance. This is just the product of a lot of TNT being shot. And as you can see, I've made it go significantly farther than what it used to do. It used to actually shoot like up over this huge target I made over here until I put in the guider here. So yeah, and then on that note, I'm actually just gonna show you guys this TNT cannon. You remember this one from the biggest TNT cannon video? Yeah, the breaking my record of biggest TNT cannon video, and it's just so overpowered. I mean, it shoots 170 plus TNT per shot, and it just shoots so much of it. So that's absolutely amazing. I just love this build, and it just destroys everything. It's just total annihilation. So yeah, and then I guess we'll move on to the next one. And these are actually taking me a long time to find because they're all over this massive world. So I'm gonna go find the next one. Okay. So this next build is a staircase. Yes, very simple, huh? Well, if you step on the left side, the whole thing opens up as a hallway. So this is just kind of one of those neat little things that you can put in the base that isn't really too difficult to build. It's just kind of a walk-through staircase. It's just same pressure plate system that we use for the mega door. You can kind of see it through here, and I guess we can dig down. But yes, that's basically the redstone, same redstone as before. And it just runs kind of a ladder of torches here. And then whenever you step on the pressure plate, the torches just retract. So yet again, this is technically an infinitely expandable system if you want to put that much effort into it, but you will need repeaters eventually because redstone only has so much length. But yeah, this is just one of those other satisfying builds that you can just do in your base or whatever. And also, while we're over here, I also forgot to show you guys this one. This one's just one of my personal favorites. It's the Tnt Cannon. It shoots sand. How is that not cool? It shoots sand. And it shoots it pretty far, too. Like, considering how far that goes. This could be a pretty good griefing weapon if you just want to mess with someone's house in a ridiculous way. But, yeah, just don't grief on my server. Anyway. Also, this was a failed machine, so ignore that one. Anyway, on to the next. Okay, so this next one is probably the world's fastest sugarcane, cactus, bamboo, whatever farm. What I've done is I've created a really quick circuit here that'll power this dispenser that will just absolutely, it'll just keep bone mealing that sugarcane into oblivion. So there's actually, if you have enough bone meal, I actually made an extendable system with a hopper and a chest and everything, just so you can just absolutely destroy this. But this is from one chest and dispenser full. Yeah, that much just from loading this machine up to the max one time. So yeah, what it does is that whenever the sugarcane grows up to its full height, the observer senses it, sends a signal down into this piston, and then it just goes crazy. So here, let me grab some redstone bone meal and I'll turn it on for you guys. Okay, so what happens is you just go in here, you dump in the bone meal, and then you wait a seconds for it to load because this goes pretty quick. And then you place redstone right there and it starts to go nuts. Another thing that you can do with this is if you could find another even faster circuit, this would work even better. But this is pretty much what I found for right now, and it's absolutely amazing. And also, you can take out the observer altogether if you just want to like turn the piston on auto as well. Just run them both off the same circuit. So you can pretty much chop off the observer altogether. But tell me down in the comments below, do you think I should sell these things on the server, just kits to build this? Like this would be pretty good for Key Ender and stuff, because then he'd be able to make like ultra farms. But this is not going to be cheap because it's a very efficient machine. And also I've created a glass cage around it so it doesn't, spray sugarcane everywhere, but you can't really avoid that. So on to the next one. Okay, so this, I'm not going to turn it on right now, but this is an Ultra Smelter. I built one of these on the server, if you don't know already. It took me a very long time and an absolute crud ton of iron. So what happens is you put your input in here and your fuel in here, and then it comes output here. It loads the items up into these water streams, which puts it into hoppers, which travel across. And once this last hopper is filled, it sends a signal to drop all the items from these top hoppers into those hoppers, which in turn goes down to the furnaces, and then it smelts, and then puts out the end. The same thing with the fuel. It's kind of like the minecart one. This is kind of like the minecart one that I found from another YouTube channel called Storm. Go check him out. And yeah, it's basically the same thing. It's just a little smaller. I built this in the inside the Creeper Comics Productions headquarters. So yeah. Anyway, and now on to the final build. So I'm not even gonna cut for this one. It's right over here. So this is the auto shulker machine. This took me absolutely forever to build, and the redstone is it's pretty insane. So this one took me like a whole few hours to build, and so let's grab some shulkers. So what we can do is we can grab a bunch of these shulker boxes, and then basically what the system does is that, also just to prove to you that I'm not messing, I'm gonna grab some stuff here. So what'll happen is I'll go in here, I'll dump some random items inside this shulker box, and then as you guys can see, this is loaded up with oak planks and everything, so we'll toss this into red. Now remember that. Then we'll go ahead and do our next one filled up with this stuff. And then that also dropped into red. Oh well, that shouldn't change anything. And then we'll do an empty one, and we'll get rid of these planks. So what happens is that loads these things up into the sorting machine up here, and each one of the so each of those carpets go into hoppers that go into another one of these dispensing things that shoots it up into this line, and then up into one of these lines, and then it drops into any one of these things, and then the levers control observers that click on and off really fast and drop the items down and then fire into this. So we dropped a few into red, right? So let's open up red, and then we get a shulker. What's in it? The first items. And then if we do red again, it gives us our second shulker. Same items, all in the same order that you put it in. And I think we put the other one in green. Nope. The trick is you just gotta remember where you put them. Yellow then. Okay. Oh, there we go. I don't know which one that was. But then again, that was our empty box. So yes, that's basically what this machine does. And it's if you break it down, it's not too hard to build, but I overcomplicated it and made it so you can have 4 different sortings. So basically, these levers activate pistons that push chests over a hopper that drops it down into this machine down here that senses if this dispenser is filled. Same machine over here that we do for the water elevators, and then it fires off that shulker box, and I place glass so it won't stick to any of them, and it'll come out just straight, so you can just grab whatever's inside and then break it really easily and scoop it right back up, toss it in whatever sort of you want. The only problem with this is that it has a slight delay to load it because of the water elevators to float the item up to the top. A thing that you can do is you can put, also I had to change these to droppers because the dispensers wouldn't work because, dispensers place shulkers. Anyway, so if you made it so the droppers drop the item onto like a block of soul sand, and then it flew up the elevator, but then it kind of, jumps out the top and stuff. But anyway, that's basically the entire build. Hello, slime. So yeah, that's basically the entire build, and, yeah, so those are pretty much the main builds on the creative world that I've done recently, some of the best ones. And this machine is actually still trying to go, so we should probably break the redstone, but yeah, and I think we actually, backlogged our hopper in here, but, because the chest was full. But, yes, and well, thank you guys for watching, and also one more thing before you go. You guys may have noticed through the video that I have a little particle trail following me. I looked this up because I thought it would be funny if I had one of these, just following me around sometimes. So let me find the command blocks for this, and I'll just show you the command real quick. If I can find my command blocks. Goodness gracious, this world's so big. I'll be right back. Okay, so yes, I did find my command blocks. They were literally right here, but of course I am technically blind anyway. So this is the command. You just entered your username and then the rest of this command to get on Bedrock Edition to get the same particle effect. I think it's pretty much the same thing on Java, except the smoke particle item thing is a little bit different. But yeah, and then you want to set it to unconditional, always active, and repeat. And then you also want to hide command block messages with a personal command, because otherwise, you're not gonna have a very fun day. So yes, I guess that'll be all. Thank you for watching this video. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.